You say this is Christ, right? Okay, give me Revelations 1:1. This is Christ. We fit to show you the difference. This right here is hatred. This right here is the way, the truth, and the life.
That's right.
Okay?
Well, Most High Christ bless. Ha! Order, nation in order, my house in order. Who those prophets on the corner? What's that about? They say the Bible just for me, I gotta check it out. You scoffers ain't ready for me, I'm finna bring it out. My house is in order, my people, I can teach them now. Who those prophets on the corner? What's that about? They say the Bible just for me, I gotta check it out. You scoffers ain't ready for me, I'm finna bring it out. My house is in order, my people, I can teach them now. He lead in captivity, shall go in captivity.
How you doing, brother? What's your name? Max. All right, Max. We're out here, we're teaching our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that you are the biblical Israelites. You're a special people to the Most High God.
Right.
Watch this. Listen to this. Read.
The book of John, chapter 14, verse 6.
You know,
Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
So right here, Jesus said, here's the way, the truth, and the life. Now let me ask you something. Do you know what Christ looked like? You say this is Christ, right? Okay, give me Revelations 1:1. This is Christ. We fit to show you the difference. This right here is hatred. This right here is the way, the truth, and the life.
That's
Okay?
right. Bring it out.
Check this out.
Bring it out.
Listen closely, all right? Read.
Revelations, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Now, revelations mean the revealing of Jesus Christ. Now, watch when John the Revelator, he's going to describe something here. Give me verse 10. Read.
Verse 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day.
The Lord's day is the Sabbath day. That's today. He said he was in the spirit on the Lord's day. Read.
And heard behind me a great voice as a trumpet.
So right here, he was in the spirit. He heard behind him a voice of a great trumpet. The great trumpet, that means John the Revelator wasn't asleep. He was wide awake because he heard something behind him. Read.
Verse 11, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book.
That's very important. Because everybody always say Christ is coming back, right? So if Christ coming back, how you gonna know how he look like?
Bring it out.
If everybody's saying it don't matter how he look. If Christ cracked them skies, people gonna think who that is. They gonna be trying to fight against Christ. Don't even realize that's Christ.
Right, that's right.
Read.
What thou seest, write in a book.
So what you said, he told John the Revelator, what you see, write it in the book.
Right.
That's very important because he know a lot of people will be out here talking about this is Christ.
That's right.
Read.
And send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto
Jump down to verse 14. Read.
verse 14. And his head and his hair were white like wool.
So check this out right here. We're reading out the Bible. Do this man got white woolly hair? What about this man right here? White woolly hair. Who got white woolly hair today? Huh? Turn around. Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. That's woolly hair.
Right.
All right? Let's read on. Read.
His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because it's not talking about Christ was shooting out laser beams. It wasn't talking about like he had like real fire in his eyes. Go ahead, give the description of that.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
So his eyes shall be red with wine. What was Christ's first miracle? He was changing water into wine. Okay? That was his first miracle, because Christ he drank wine in moderation. He wasn't no drunk, but he drank wine in moderation.
Right.
Read.
And his teeth white with milk.
That means he came talking the word, talking the basics to the people so they can have an understanding. Now back to Revelations.
Verse 14. And his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eye was as a flame of fire.
So why his eyes was a flame of fire? Why was his eyes a flame of fire? Read that again, and so he could get an understanding. In Genesis 49 and 12. Listen closely, okay?
Genesis 49 and 12. And his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
So what his eyes is red with? With wine, because he drank wine. You ever see the bombs on the corners? What color their eyes be? It be red, right? All right, go back to Revelation.
The 1 verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Brown like. It say John the Revelator looked back and he saw a force. If you turn around and you see somebody standing behind you and you look, and then he looked down at his feet like you got on your slippers there, at the top of his feet, it said it was a brass. And you said brass was as a color of brown, right? So if his color, do this man, your feet should look like the same color as your face, right? So what is more than that depiction, right? Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
So it said as it burnt in a furnace. That means if you put anything in the furnace and you burn it, what color is gonna be? Black. So you just told me the description of what Christ looked like in the Bible.
Right.
They not teaching this in the church, because
Right.
they teaching this devil.
Right.
That's hatred.
That's
And
right.
I'm gonna show you something here about that, about hatred. Give me 2 John chapter 6. 2 John 6. Listen closer to this, because this is a thing that our people cannot shake. We can't shake the difference between love and hatred. If you're breaking God's laws, that's hatred
Right.
all the way around.
Bring it up.
Read.
2 John, verse 6. And this is the love, that we walk after his commandments. This
Read that
is
from the top again.
2 John, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
So this is love, that we walk after his commandments. That's love. It's walking after God's commandments.
That's right.
So that's the problem with the community now. They shoot each other down in the street because they not walking in the commandments of God. Give me Leviticus 19 and 6. Because the thing is, we get mad at each other. They created a separation. The so-called people on this sign right here, these are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Where do you fit on this sign? What you say?
What I see?
Yeah. On this side is what they call us if you was to fill out an application. On this side is what God calls us. You from the tribe of Issachar, so you so-called Mexican Aztec. Okay? So God calls you Issachar, mighty
Right.
Issachar.
Right.
Okay? So this is what the Bible is written to. Read.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
God said we shouldn't hate our brother in our hearts. But what's the first thing we do? Oh, I'm black. You Latino. Oh, that's a separation. I don't like you because you not of me. When we really the same people.
Right.
We going through the same atrocities as you is.
That's right.
We in the ghettos.
Bring it out.
Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
That's what we supposed to be doing. We got youngsters walking around with their pants hanging down,
Right.
and a grown man sitting right there of age ain't telling this youngster
Bring it out.
that.
That's
That's
right.
hatred.
Right.
Read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
We not supposed to suffer sin.
Right.
Because if I let you walk by and I don't tell you who you are and what you should be following to get you into the kingdom of heaven, I would face the atrocities. That's how much God cares about his people.
Right.
Read.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear grudge against thy children of thy own people.
That's what's going on right here. The people on this side, the Haitians and the West Indies, they feud with one another. The so-called blacks and Issachar, they feud with one another. They have hatred. That's one thing we can't shake. We can't shake this. We do everything else and think what's right, but we really can't shake the hatred. This is what we got is in the condition. I'ma show you. Read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Wait a minute. Who said this?
I am the Lord.
The Lord said this.
Right.
He said we should be hating each other. We should bear grudge. All praise that you came over here to get the word, to get an understanding and show that you're interested, because we need men like you to be over here to
That's
teach your
right.
people from the tribe of Issachar.
Right.
You know how to speak Spanish? Forevermore we need that.
Right.
So give me Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 29.
Bring it out.
And I'm going to show you why we here and why hatred brought us here. Because we can't seem to shake that, man. We can't seem to shake that. They've been teaching in these Christian churches hatred, and we think that's love. That's not love when a man flying around in a plane and you struggling.
Right.
Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 29. Then shall they know that I am the Lord, when I have laid the land most desolate because of all their abominations.
See, all their abominations, they eat swine. They're teaching in the churches that you can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
That you can come as you are. That's an abomination. That's hatred.
Right. That's right.
Read.
All their abominations which they have committed. Verse 30. Also, thou son of man, that the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls.
See that? That the people in the church talking against the Most High.
Right.
They really hate God talking about come to church on a Sunday.
Right.
Sunday ain't the day of the Lord.
Right.
That's hatred.
Right.
That means you hate God because you're not following the words in this book. Read.
Talking against thee by the walls and the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh from the Lord. Verse 31. And they that cometh to thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as many people, and they hear the words, but they will not do them.
See that? People sit down, they hear, but they don't do nothing. God requires action.
That's right.
He wants you to do his word.
That's
Not just
right.
hear it, but they sit behind the building and sit in these churches and they not doing nothing. But the prophet of God is out here to show you.
That's right.
Ain't no TD Jakes coming out here.
Right.
Ain't no Creek No Dollar coming out here.
Right.
We care for our people. We take the time out in the
Bring it
middle
out.
of our night to come out here to show you because we love our people.
That's right.
The ones listening on the bus stop, we love y'all.
Right.
Read.
For with their mouth they show much love.
See, with their mouth they show much love. Lord have mercy. I love you, Lord. I love you. Read.
But their heart go after their covetousness.
They go off their covenants, celebrating like Easter. An Easter bunny has nothing to do with the Most High God.
That's right. Bring it out.
Christmas, the Christmas tree, what they got to do with Christ? sacrifice that's not in the Bible for us to celebrate.
Bring it out.
Read.
Verse 32, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that had a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument.
Because that's what they do. They walk around all day like this is beautiful. But God hate that thing.
Right.
God hate that thing. Why do God hate? Because we have hatred.
Right.
He don't like that thing. Why we sit back hating one another.
That's right.
Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Now I'm gonna show you why we got in the conditions that we in. It's a good thing, and we need, like I said, young brothers like you to go out because you're our next generation to be able to teach love of what we just read. Walk in his commandments. Before you get there, give me 1 John 5 and 3. Because it's very important to know that we have to walk in his commandments. Because once people look at us, they drive by, they know, because our light's shining.
Right.
Because we keeping the commandments.
Right.
We doing what we supposed to do. They know we show love. We out here for them. Read.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3.
Bring it out.
For this is the love of God.
So this is the love of God. Let's see what that love of God is.
That we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not hard to do.
Right.
His commandments not hard to do at all.
Bring it out.
And I'm going to show you. But let me show you how we got in this condition. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Read.
28, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass that if thou, as you were, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hearken means to listen. He said, God said, hearken, listen to the words of the Lord God. This is Moses talking to the Israelites. These people on this side, that's you. Read.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
Above all nations.
Above all nations of the earth.
Of the earth. Do it look like we're above all nations of the earth? Is the so-called black man, later man, and Indian man above all nations of the earth? Are we above all nations? No. What happened? Why we not above? And God just said, wait a minute. Y'all above all nations. Let's see what happened. Read.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said, if you would not listen to the words of the Lord thy God. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Observe, very important. We got to observe to do all. Make observation of it. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Is curses a good thing or a bad thing? A bad thing. Let's read some of these curses and let's see if God is for talking to everybody, if these curses fit everybody, or it just fit the so-called blacks, Latinos, or Native American Indians.
Bring it out.
Let's try to see if this got anything to do with anybody else besides us. Read. 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So it say, cursed shall you be in the city. Wherever the so-called blacks, Latinos, and American Indians at, you go to any ghetto in the city or any slum, who in there?
That's right.
So, where do the so-called Chinese man fit at? Is he in the ghetto? See that? It don't fit. But watch, read.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
Curse in the fields. Because the so-called blacks was picking cotton. You Latinos, and you still doing it today in the chili field. Only making 15 cents. But working hard. Now you really getting it because he closing the walls off. That's cursed in the city. It's supposed to be your land. Read. Well, give me 32.
Verse 32.
Listen to this.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said your sons and daughters shall be given to another people. Look at this sign right here. You northern kingdom. Look at this. Look what they did to the native Indians and the Aztecs. They took your people into slavery. That's how you were able to speak Spanish.
Right.
Because the Spaniards and the Conquistadors was the so-called white man.
Right.
They came over here and took your people, raped your women. They did this stuff.
Right.
This is true history. But they tell us we hatred.
Right.
But we out here to love our people and tell them the truth. Read.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
God said your eyes will fail for you want your children back, but you can't get them back. Why?
And there shall be no might in thy hand.
Because there should be no might in your hand.
Right.
We don't have the power.
Right.
Guess what's going on today? CPS.
Right. Right.
They coming and take our children away just because they want to get them in order. And we have no might. Yeah, look at the border. Them children in cages on the border.
Right.
They taking the children away.
Bring it out.
That don't fit the ordination with so-called the blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Yeah,
This is
right.
happening to us.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So right here, God said he's going to bring us again in Egypt in ship. If you have an understanding that Moses went and freed the people out of Egypt, that was your ancestors. God freed them, but sent Moses to direct them out.
Right.
And they went in the wilderness. This is him in Deuteronomy talking to them in the wilderness. He was telling them, hey, the Lord said he's gonna, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm gonna send you into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
See what Moses said? Because the people was probably laughing at him, looking at him like they doing us right now.
Right.
Because he said, no man, by the way I spoke to you, this is the way the Most High God told me. He said y'all going back, because they was up there talking about, wait a minute, Moses, we walked out of Egypt. We could walk over there. What are you talking about? You know, give me that. Exodus, hold that.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
He said, brought you out the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Egypt means what? What do Egypt mean? Read that again.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So what do Egypt mean? The house of bondage. If you are in bondage and somebody got you bonded up, what they got you? As a slave, right? That's what's going on right here.
Right. Right.
See here? Bond up. The Conquistador, Spaniard came over here, took him. Back to 68. Now listen, read.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way of I spake unto thee.
So Moses said he's gonna bring you. Egypt means bondage, means slavery. He said God said he's gonna bring you into slavery again with ships. Didn't your people go over to Spain? The Conquistadors and the Spaniards came over here and took them to Spain.
Right.
As slaves.
Right.
This happened to the Aztecs and the Mayans.
Bring it out.
Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said you ain't gonna see your homeland again. Actually, your homeland, get that right quick. Your homeland is, they tell you, go back to Mexico, go back, but your true homeland, these people on this side,
Right.
this is their true homeland. Your true homeland, because they've been lying to us for over 400 years. They ain't been telling us the right thing.
Right.
They've been telling us lies. And finally the prophets is waking up. and they're tired of the people telling them lies.
That's right.
Read.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 26.
Bring it out.
But Jerusalem, which above is free,
So Jerusalem is above, is free. Read.
which is the mother of us all.
So the motherland is Jerusalem.
That's
Jerusalem
right.
is in Israel.
That's
So
right.
Israel is our motherland.
That's right.
We read this out the Bible.
Right.
But your pastors ain't telling you this in the churches. We've been lied to, even our parents. We have to go to them and tell them the truth. Show them in kindness and honor them still, but let them know.
Right.
Hey, this is what I found out today. Take that flyer home. Let them know. Verse 68 again, read.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way of I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So what you not gonna see no more again? What land? Israel. Remember, Jerusalem is above, is free.
That's right.
That's what we're not gonna see no more.
Right.
When we gonna see that? When Christ cracked them skies.
That's right.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
It didn't say friends. Who was your ancestor sold to? Right? But the so-called white man.
Right.
They came over here. The Spaniards was the so-called white man. Read.
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies for born men
From slave men,
and born women,
from slave women.
and no man shall buy you.
That means no man ain't gonna be able to free you. Right now, give me that Baruch 3 and 8. Yeah, Baruch 3 and 8.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So to this day, we still in our captivity.
Right.
We think we free. We ain't free.
That's right.
Our minds ain't free.
Right.
We still living in the way that we living in a matrix.
Right.
We're not living in the true reality.
Bring it out.
Read.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse.
That's what I'm reading right now. The curses. I'm reading you the curses.
Right.
Read.
And to be subject to payments.
That's what we doing right now. Ain't we paying taxes? We can't do anything. Read.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
Because that's what our forefathers done sin, so we got to face the consequences as well.
Right.
As them. But think about it. We the same spirits as we were back then.
Right.
Acting
Right.
the same way.
Right.
That's right.
Worshiping different gods. Not adhering to God's commandments.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So these curses, he said, go be up on you for a sign and for a wonder. Because right now you wondering like, wow, I ain't never heard this like this. Wow, this brother really do love me. I ain't never, you got to be honest. You probably like, I ain't never known a black man to really love a so-called Hispanic man.
No.
But this is what they taught us, the lies. That's that called divide and conquer.
Right.
That's what they want to separate us.
Right.
Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
See, up on our seed forever, so it don't matter wherever you go. They tell us in a minute, go back to Africa. But guess what? The curse is still gonna follow us.
Right. Right.
Until we get free to where we come back to God's commandments.
That's right.
Okay?
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
He said your enemies again. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In hunger. So right now, where do your parents have to go to get their food? What kind of store? Walmart? Do they go to Walmart?
It really be any store.
Huh?
It really be any store.
The what now?
Like it really be any store.
Okay. But Walmart, look around you right now. Who own that one A1 stop insurance? Who own that? Dude, exactly. You see what I'm getting at? Watch this though, read. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. Right now, the clothes that we got on, we had to get it from our enemy.
That's right.
Read.
And in want of all things.
So anything we want, we got to go to them. Education. You want a good education? You want college? Guess who you got to go to? Who the heck is Sally Mae? Because she sure getting us.
That's right.
Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
See, it describe who this person is. Who put yokes of iron on our necks? If the Bible letting you know clearly, if you got a second guess, read that part again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
See there? It said till he have destroyed us. Because we don't have no more yokes of iron on our neck. So how we destroy? Our mind
That's right.
is destroyed.
Right.
We can't think right.
Right.
Give me 28. Watch this.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
Because our people walking around with madness. They insane right now. We seen one lady just go in the garbage and just pull out anything and drink on it. It tastes bad because it's been there so long. That's madness. That's astonishment.
Right.
Read.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Because right now, we're astonishment of the mind. Our mind is messed up.
Right.
Because we walk around with our pants hanging down. We want to be with the big time dope dealer. We want to go and kick it with them and hang on the corners and think that's a good, glamorous life.
Right.
When all that is facing death.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. And our children too. We have abandoned. How are you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.